What is going on, guys? So today's video I want to touch up on a few must-have items as a brand new Sienna owner. Long story short, our friends are actually getting a Sienna. We're very excited. A 2025 supposed XL e-trim. We are a family of four. We own a 2023 Toyota Sienna. So ever since then, huge advocate of minivans for a startup family, and it just makes life a lot easier and road trips a lot just so much more better. Here are some lists of items kind of ranked in the order of not really importance, but the order of installation, I guess, because especially if you have a blank canvas, clean, clutterless car in general, it's going to go ahead and help you install these. So for sure. Now let us go ahead and start off with the number one item. This would be your weather floor mats, especially the all-season floor mats. Now, if Toyota gives you an all-season floor mat, I would say just keep it, unless you could go ahead and sell it and get these floor mats that we have. And those are the 3W floor mats. Now, I think those are my favorite floor mats for the Sienna because, first of all, it's really good quality. It's thicker than your normal Toyota OEM floor mats. The 3W cost effectiveness is great. Coverage is the next thing. The coverage actually is better than the OEM Toyota floor mats themselves, especially in the second row along this, the super long slide channels. You get a little bit more coverage on the exterior carpet, where I think it gets a lot more of traffic, especially with salt and rain, water, snow, etc. So that's a plus. Also, they offer a cargo mat that we also have. Coverage is also great. So I'm gonna link that in the description down below. It's very easy to get. They ship really quickly, and also they sell their items on Amazon as well. So if you have Prime, it goes without saying. Now the next one, I think quite recently, I think that's in the headlines a couple of months ago. A lot of fraud involved, but I think it was this particular fraud event in Brooklyn on the Belt Parkway that kind of shed light or reminded everyone that you should always have a dash camera in your car. So as long as your Sienna is clean and clutterless, this makes everything install effortless, or as you know, as easy as possible. I recommend a 2-channel camera, at least front and back. My experience, I would suggest the company Viofo and Vantrue, but for the most part, I would say 60 frames per second quad HD camera, like 2.5K. That's good. In terms of SD card, you will need a higher endurance, so the high endurance SD cards, because it keeps on going, it keeps on looping. So you definitely need that. Now for us, I want to touch up on the Pormito digital rear view camera. Why we want to do that is the fact that we have the rear entertainment system equipped in. The Sienna Basic has a system where you go ahead and mirror or cast whatever's on your phone to the rear entertainment system. However, when you flip that down, it completely blocks the view of our rear view mirror. So we can't look at the kids, and we can't look at the rear, at the whichever is approaching us. So if someone's tailing us, or if something happens, if someone's approaching you really quickly and you do have to do like a last minute maneuver, you can't see that. So what we have is a 3-channel system, one facing forward, one facing in cabin, and one facing the rear. What I like about it is that it gives me access to see the girls without turning around, right? You can have like a nice rear view mirror, rear view image. All you have to do is kind of look up and you see, and if they're doing fine, they're doing fine. That's perfect. So if you guys are missing the cabin watch feature or whatever in-cabin watch that Honda has, even the Pacifica and the Carnival, I believe, then this is a must-have for the Sienna. The third item, I would suggest going on Amazon and looking at a company or product from EMZ. They offer a center console armrest that's padded, quilted memory foam that you could go ahead and put in the center console of the Sienna. They actually have this item that fits directly snug in the center console to prevent the center console from opening and then having your item slide down into that, what they call the black hole. Now, into that void, when it gets there, you're gonna have a lot of trouble picking it up, especially if you have your phone or important items, you're on your way to your airport, and for some reason you have your passport there, parking passes, all that stuff. You're gonna have to chop up your center console, remove a lot of trim to even take it out. So this product actually gives you more of an armrest on top of that, but prevents you from opening the center console. Now, what's the point of having that if you keep blocking it, right? It's kind of like a two-step. You have to remove the center armrest from EMZ in order to go ahead and open the console. There's another solution that I also purchased. It's kind of like a bar that you stick on with double-sided tape, and it's very heavy-duty double-sided tape. When you open it, it creates a barrier for it to catch everything that's about to go ahead and drop into it. So I think I highly recommend that. Now, another noteworthy mention is the center cubby, or the overhead cubby that stacks right above the infotainment system. This might not apply to the 2025s because I think the 2025s have a bigger 12.3-inch HD display, so the actual 3D print might not fit over, but I'm sure EMZ is gonna create something soon. But what I like about this is it creates less clutter. We put our Easy Pass on there, we put the Safe and Drive, whatever Bluetooth that we have for insurance, all the random stuff you could go ahead and put there. Nothing pointy in case you get in an accident and stuff like that. Now, EMZ actually offers the cargo tray or the organizer under the bridge, so I highly recommend that as well. Now, the last accessory that I think is a must-have that I vouch for is a 3D printed phone mount. It's a clip that, with a little help of 3M tape, mounts on top of right between your cluster and the infotainment system, and right above the windshield stock. And from there you can kind of pick up, I guess, quality MagSafe mounts. Even if you have an Android phone, you can still go ahead and convert any type of Android phone to MagSafe, and you could use your phone, stick it on. It's a perfect positioning, doesn't block your view. And also, it's a lot cheaper than other accessory systems like Pro Clip. I was looking into that, and we all know that the vent mount in the Siennas makes it a little bit harder for you to go ahead and use any type of a clip system. So there you go. Now, the last accessories that I would highly recommend, but these are really optional, I guess, because they do get pricey, are window deflectors and also window tinting. So window deflectors, I would say, I think all my cars have window deflectors. Why? Because first, it gives you fresh air, especially when it rains. You can go ahead and keep the rain out. Also, when you're driving and you're parked in a high sunny area with high heat, you could go ahead and open your windows, crack them open just a little bit, and let the air dissipate and not have to come back to a really hot car. Alright guys, so I'm doing some editing right now, and I realized I left out two very important items that should be must-haves, not only for the Sienna but for any other car. Now, the first one will be an inflator, a tire inflator. What we use is a M12, compact, very small, but most important is very powerful. So recently we were in a pickle where we were at a doctor's appointment. We got out and I realized that we hit a nail and it was deflating fast. So what happened was I had to decide whether or not to source out our modern spare on the cargo box and change it up. So luckily we had the tire inflator in the car. I inflated it. I was able to go ahead and source a local tire shop. It was still losing air, but I was hauling butt to that local tire shop, and long story short, they were able to get me up and running and able to pick up the girls on time after the appointment ended and go on with our day. Now, last but not least is a USB or any type of jump starter system in your car. Why do I say that? It's because you never know when you're going to be running out of batteries or when you can help somebody out by having a quick jump starter. Times have changed. We used to have a really big one, blocky. I remember my dad used to have a huge one, and now they're like USB packs, right? USB charging packs, right? It's that, like, it's just small. What we have is a AvaPow system where it's able to go ahead and jump or code crank 6,000 peak amps. So that definitely helped. We used it and I highly recommend that particular system. The last item that I would say service that I would suggest are window tints. And why do I say that? Because window tints, having owned them, I would say it's a nice investment. Not only does it block UV rays, even though the stock windows should go ahead and block some UV, gives you some UV protection, but it rejects heat. Stock windows do not reject heat. It definitely comes in handy when you're parked in a really hot area. You go ahead and reject heat as much as possible. Your car in the interior cabin will heat up no matter what. right? If you have sun shining down, your car will definitely heat up. The temperature inside will definitely be much cooler versus if you don't have any window tints. Now, another positive is the fact that if you can't escape the sun and you're going on a long road trip, it will go ahead and keep your in-cabin cooler and therefore less stress on your air conditioning and less stress on the mileage, so increase in mileage. So that is something that is not a must-have, I guess, for anyone. So that's why I left this as the last bullet point, but it really does go the extra mile. All right, guys, so that is it for my must-have items for any brand new Sienna owners. Congratulations in advance. You're not gonna be disappointed. It's gonna be a great car. You're gonna drive it for years to come. So on that note, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.